Chapter 39, Leaving Estrogen in the Dust. December 12th, 2012, 12/12/12, the day of my hysterectomy. I felt as though the uniqueness of the date would bring me luck, just as it had on the day of my reconstruction surgery. With the hysterectomy, I was taking another giant step forward in being able to push thoughts of cancer out of my mind. I was not looking forward to another surgery, another bout with anesthesia, and another 6 weeks at least of taking it easy. I was, however, looking forward to no more periods. I also experienced feelings of excitement when I allowed myself to think that the surgery was part of the end of my journey. But that excitement was short-lived. Too many times I had thought that I had reached an ending when it really turned out to be another beginning. What beginning would the hysterectomy create? Or could it actually be part of an ending? As I pondered that question, I began to change my thought process about the whole experience. Instead of saying that I was closing the book on cancer, I realized that my book of cancer was not a book at all, but rather a portion in the book of my life. The chapters on cancer were long and had proved to be very difficult to get through, but somehow I was managing. I concluded that now it was just time to dive into another chapter, which would be followed by another and another for the rest of my life. My hysterectomy chapter began on that bitter cold December 12th morning. The plan was for Dr. Mainwaring to perform a complete hysterectomy along with some repairs to my bladder. The surgery took a little over 3 hours and everything went well. As I struggled to fight my way out of the anesthesia fog, I quickly realized that I was in for something not good. All I could feel was intense pain. In my previous surgeries, I had small amounts of pain that were completely manageable. Now, however, I felt pulsating waves of deep, intense pain, and they were not about to be shut down by pain meds. I writhed about on my bed, clutching my abdomen while moaning and begging for pain medication. When the nurse gave me a dose of Demerol, I felt instant relief from the pain, but I also had to scramble to find the kidney-shaped plastic barf tray. It was truly one of the less than glamorous times in my life, and once again, the love of my life had to witness all the grotesqueness. Quote from my journal. I was able to go home on Thursday afternoon, and I have been pretty much laid up since then. The first few days were a bit rough pain-wise. I felt like I was having really bad menstrual cramps. The night that I had spent in the hospital was one of the longest nights of my life. I had a catheter in along with a bunch of cotton packing. The cotton packing was to help with the bleeding. I could not get comfortable. Once the nurses took out the catheter and cotton packing, I felt a huge amount of relief. I can't believe how much of the packing they pulled out of me. It must have been like 3 or 4 feet. I have discovered that my body will no longer tolerate any pain meds stronger than ibuprofen and Tylenol. If I take anything stronger, I start hallucinating and feel like people are watching me. I also feel like I can't move or talk. It's a very scary feeling. End quote. It took me a good 6 weeks to feel like I could move around at a pace faster than turtle speed. Part of the problem was that I had a couple of little hiccups during the recovery period. Those issues set me back a bit. Of course, leave it to me, the extra miler. I insist on going the extra mile in everything that I do, including recovering from major surgery. Quote from my journal. Day 514. When I started this journal, there was not even one part of me that thought I would still be writing on day 514. I have now been at this battle for over 500 days, and I am exhausted. I just met with Dr. Chen and found out that I will indeed be going back to the surgery table at least one more time, possibly 2. My breasts are sagging a bit. We're not really sure why. Possibly the implants are too heavy. So in May, I will have another surgery so Dr. Chen can use Alloderm to strengthen the underside of my breasts. Hopefully I will be able to keep the size that I am now, but more than likely I will have to go down a size. Dr. Chen is also going to have to use the Alloderm to fill in a few spots where my skin looks too thin, but that may have to be a separate surgery. I am tired of looking forward to another surgery. I'm tired of making my sweet husband wait in the wings while I go under the knife. I'm tired of making lists of things that I hope to be able to do when I feel up to it. Blah. Cancer is dumb. Physically, I am feeling okay. I was having more pain last week, so I called Dr. Mainwaring and she checked everything out. I didn't have an infection, which is good, but I do have a couple of places where some scar tissue is building up. that is what is causing the increase in pain. It was getting to the point where I couldn't sit very well, so Dr. Mainwaring poked and prodded for a bit, which felt just wonderful, said with a lot of sarcasm, and she was able to loosen things up. After a few days of ibuprofen, I feel a lot better. My hair, on the other hand, is not a good thing. I'm tolerating it for the moment. I've had a few bad days of comb throwing and stomping my feet because I really just hate the style I have right now. I'm glad to have the hair back, and I knew that I was going to have to go through an awkward stage or two. But now that I'm in that awkward stage, I hope it won't last very long. Please grow fast, little hairs. Day 532. Today is a big milestone. It marks 1 year since my last chemo treatment. It's really hard to believe that it has been a year since that wonderful day. We had the pink party with so many friends and family. I feel truly blessed. So how do I feel 1 year after chemo? Tired. Fatigue is now a part of my daily life. Part of that fatigue is because of all the surgeries and everything else as well. The good news is, now that I can start exercising again, I hope that I will be able to get some energy and stamina back. I've pretty much recovered from my hysterectomy. I had my 6-week checkup on Tuesday, and Dr. Mainwaring had to fix another spot where the scar tissue was growing in weird. That was unpleasant. After the experience, I went home and put myself to bed. But I felt pretty normal the next day and have felt good since. I'm also feeling a little better about my hair. Julie colored it a couple of days ago, and we trimmed up the back quite a bit. It looks much better now, and I'm learning new tricks every day. I just have to take things one day at a time. That's all I can do.